Hey everybody, it's Josh at Walnut Ridge. I know I've went over this kind of before, but we had a pretty bad one that I thought was a good opportunity to take a video and show you. This is a slide floor that we've taken out of this unit, and you can just see how every layer of the plywood has just separated. And actually, it was a lot worse yesterday. All this was so wet, water was literally dripping on the floor here, and some of these still aren't dried out. So obviously we have to replace this slide floor. But what I wanted to talk about is I just can't stress enough how much maintenance is important, and make sure you're doing proper maintenance on it. So what happened on this particular unit, somebody had actually made some repairs. I don't know if it's a customer, if they had it done somewhere else, but the repairs that were made weren't done properly. So we actually had some basically drywall screws that were holding on a trim band on here, and they're all taken out of there now, but they were rusted out, and we still have some rusted screws on the side of it over here. But when this got put back together, none of that got sealed up properly. And if we zoom in like kind of close over here, you can see, I mean, this looks okay. There's a giant gap right here where this water just funneled into this corner. But if you walk around this unit in particular, it's very clean. It looks like it was well taken care of for the most part. It's just missing some of those very important spots that you have to reseal in a corner like that. That's very easy to walk by and not really notice that it's not sealed properly anymore. That's all it takes to cause this kind of damage. And the bad thing is how this one's mounted in the unit, there's actually two recliners that sit over it. So you don't ever walk on that floor, you just sit in the chairs, and until it gets enough of it and weak enough, and then you sit in the chair and finally kind of notice that it's doing it. Or maybe you start noticing it on the outside starting to come apart. But again, it's the same thing we always talk about. You kind of don't know something's going on until it's too late. So super important to always keep up with your maintenance. You know, let the pros do it. If you're not really experienced with resealing stuff, you know, bring it into us, let us look over it. Some of these small areas is what we catch and what the technicians see. Another point I'll make on that, this also will stress how important it is to make sure you keep your unit clean and, you know, wash it regularly. You want to make sure that we get this dirt off this sealant, because even though the rest of this looks good, there might be some gaps where this dirt has built up on top of this trim band, and so water could just be leaking in there. Now obviously we're replacing the floor, so we're going to reseal all this one, put it back together, and make sure we're good to go. But just shows you how important it is. Keep it clean, keep up with regular maintenance on it, make sure you're using the proper things in the repair and the proper sealants when you do your resealing on it, and then that will make it last a long time and hopefully avoid a pretty costly repair in the future. Thanks.